Hello and welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about wetting the bed.
So the big question is this: how are parents like us, who don't have a manual, who are doing the best we can, who feel as though we aren't enough, how are we going to raise healthy, happy children who we are proud of and still keep our sanity in that process? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Ryan Roy, and welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, a podcast for parents who are being real with themselves.
Hello and welcome back to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about wetting the bed. In yesterday's episode, I talked about, kids will learn to do things in their own due time. I do not believe that there's going to be any 18-year-old going off to college wetting their bed. I do not believe that, there's certain things that kids will grow out of naturally because they're at an age of doing things, that they're going to see their friends doing it. Like, oh, I don't do that. Riding the bike. Like, my son realizes all of his friends know how to ride a bike at this point. He's like, well, I don't want to be the only one that doesn't know how to ride a bike. Let me put some energy and effort into that. So wetting the bed. This is something that, with my first son and the second one with his birthday, fast approaching, he's about to be 2. We're not out of diapers yet. We have done minimal potty training. He's just not there yet. No interest. He's just now taking interest in looking at, like, oh, Dad, you just went poop. Look, there's caca. I mean, at the end of the day, because they need to witness it, right? How are they going to know how to do something if they've never, ever seen it before? So he comes in the bathroom at this point. He watches me pee because I want him to see what it looks like so that he will mimic that. My older son, we trained with M&Ms. In my book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, I always say, reward the behavior you desired. I wanted my son to start utilizing the restroom or the bathroom and the potty. So what we came up with was the reward system of using an M&M every time he peed in the bathroom. Right? We never used pull-ups. We went right to underwear, and it wasn't fun at first. But really quickly, he realized if he went, every time he felt the urge to go, he would go in there, and he'd be like, I want an M&M. And he would get, 5, 6, 7, 8 M&Ms a day. But he kept pooping in his pants. And I was like, man, what do I need to do? It took me 3 weeks. People, don't let this take you 3 weeks. It took me 3 weeks to reward him with 2 M&Ms to go number 2. In the potty. And I want to say he was 3, I don't know, max 3.5 years old when that happened. And we never looked back. I'll tell you this, the night thing, he never wanted to wear pull-ups. He wasn't a kid who wanted pull-ups. Like, he's like, I'm a big boy. I wear underwear all day. Why would you put I think for him, why would you put a diaper on me at night? So what we did do, and I would say we probably did this, or I did this for about 4 months, is in the middle of the night, about 1 o'clock in the morning, I would get up every night, pick him up, bring him to the bathroom, and ask him to go to the bathroom so that we didn't have to do sheets, because we did have a couple of episodes, right, where we needed to do his linen in the middle of the night, and I wasn't having that anymore. So I told my wife, I said, look, I'll get up in the middle of the night. We did that for 3 or 4 months. And one night, about 2 weeks before we actually implemented this, I said, hey, I think you're a big boy. I think you can do this. I don't think Daddy needs to wake you up in the middle of the night anymore. As a matter of fact, what I think we need to start doing is just making sure we use the bathroom right before we go to bed and empty anything that's in your system. So we did that for about a week. And when I did get up still in the middle of the night, there wasn't much. There wasn't anything that was pushing on his bladder enough for him to wet himself. So about a week later, I said, listen, when you get up in the middle of the night anymore, because we're going to the bathroom, you're not even going that much. I said, Daddy would rather you sleep through the night. I think you can do this. He goes, I think I can do this too. And we never looked back. So I would say from 3.5, max 4 years old, but I'm leaning more towards the 3.5 years mark. He's never wet his bed. He's never done anything. And there was just not a lot of pressure, but there was a lot of communication and some things we had to do as parents that were inconvenient. But that inconvenience has been 4.5 years of me not having to worry about my kid wetting the bed. Now, why am I talking about wetting the bed? Because kids can wet the bed for various reasons. And I'm going to, my son had a sleepover a couple weeks ago, and he had 4 of his friends. And my concern, I don't know these kids, but I know my kid. I was like, every one of them, they started about 8 o'clock, we started doing a movie. About 7 o'clock, we did a movie. So before anybody does anything, they're running around like crazy, drinking a lot of water. Before we all settle in, what I need everybody to do is go get in their PJs. And when you're in the bathroom, I need you to use the restroom. Why do I have to use the restroom? Why do I have to go pee? And I said every one of them. Because in this house, we go to the bathroom before we get settled, so that we can enjoy the movie, that we don't have to get up and disturb the movie. Now they're all drinking more water. Now we're having snacks during movie time. And we watched 2 movies that night. First of all, you have a sleepover, guys, girls, like nobody, kids don't sleep. They're amongst their friends. They're having a good time. They can't sleep. So we did 2 movies. One ended at 9. I said, all right, everybody up. You guys all had snacks. Anybody need any snacks? We got some fresh fruit and some things. I said, but before we start the next movie, each one of you need to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, why do we have to go to the bathroom? I said, because I don't know you guys. You guys aren't comfortable. One, you're going to learn where the bathroom is. Excuse me. You have every right to get up in the middle of the night and use that bathroom. But more importantly, I'd rather you sleep through the night and empty your bladder. So use the bathroom now, whether you need to or not. Go try. So they did. After that movie, I said, does anybody need to go to the bathroom? You guys just going to bed. They're all tired. They went to bed. I wake up in the morning. They have breakfast. They're running around like crazy. They're doing things. We had put air mattresses out for them, like in the playroom area. And there were 3 air mattresses, 2 queens and 1 twin. And the 1 twin was soaking wet. Like drenched. And my wife was like, what's going on with that? I said, I had given the one kid a bottle of water. He said he liked having water next to him. So maybe he didn't put the cap on and that's water. And she smells it. She's like, this doesn't smell like water. I was like, no way. So I looked for the water bottle, and the water bottle's full. Yellow and blue make green, right? So it happened to be a blue air mattress. When we pulled the sheets off, there was a puddle in the little indents, and it was a blue air mattress, and the water, the pee, looked green. So we immediately asked the kid, indiscretionary, hey, what's going on? Hey, this got a little wet. Did you spill some water? His immediate response was, I didn't pee the bed. And I still, to be honest, as you guys are listening, I don't know if he did or he did not. So I said, hey, whatever the reason is, it doesn't matter to me. We're just going to get this all cleaned up. I just wanted to know if you had spilled water or whatever. He's like, no, I didn't. Look, I'm dry. Now, he could have done that hours ago. And body heat, whatever, could have dried things. I said, do me a favor. You're in your PJs. I'm sure mom brought you a change of clothes. Do you want to go take a shower? He's like, I don't need a shower. So can you at least go change your clothes? So he did. He went and changed his clothes. We did his laundry. We took care of all that. I'm not so sure it was him. I don't know if one of the other kids did something. I have no clue. I do know there was pee. And this is what I racked that up to. He's in an unfamiliar house. He's in an unfamiliar space. He may have been nervous. He's out of his surroundings. And it could have been 2 of them for all I know. And he held his bladder as best he could. And stuff happens, right? I'm not glad it happened. I'm sure whichever kid did that, because my wife says she checked all of his clothes and they were bone dry and she thought they would be like a little sticky or something. They didn't have any. We don't know which kid. But the way I responded to him was like, hey, it doesn't matter whether you did or you didn't. I am not upset at all. I just want you to go change into your regular clothes and we're going to be good. And he did. And I had the other kids change. Kids make mistakes. It's how we respond as parents that makes them feel insecure about it, makes them feel upset about it. And look, if I was in another space at a young age, and maybe I was a little fearful for whatever reason, or I was just uncomfortable, or I just didn't want to get up because I was exhausted because I've been up way too late with my friends, and by the time I fell asleep, I was just so bushed. Who knows if that would have happened to me? I don't know. I don't recall it ever happening to me. But at the end of the day, it happened here. We're talking 8 and 9-year-olds. No judgment, no nothing. How do you respond when a kid a little bit older than you think they should be wets the bed? I don't know jack about parenting, but I think you need to respond with love, compassion, no judgment, not upset that you have to do the laundry or anything like that. You just ask them what's up. They tell you, you take it at face value, and you keep moving. We didn't even share it with the parents. We thought it was insignificant enough that happened because we don't even know which kid did it. So, wetting the bed, not something we want. But here's the other aspect of that. At what age is it acceptable for these kids at home to be not wearing pull-ups, to not be, to be self-sufficient? And I think the answer is that depends on the kid. I've been fortunate thus far. I have another one about to go through some training. But I think patience and understanding and love is the best way to come at those situations. We'll see you in the next episode.
Do you want to be the dad you wish you had? If so, go get my free book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, at BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com. Inside, you'll find my most effective 40 tips to quickly and easily transform yourself into the ideal dad. Go to BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com now and get it while it's free.